Okay. We have the head coach of the USMNT national team, Mauricio Pochettino. Just a few notes as we get started. This is the first time that the USMNT has gone unbeaten in 5 straight matches against top 40 ranked opponents since 2013. That stretched from June 2nd to November 15th. The 5-1 victory ties the largest margin of victory against a South American opponent. The record was 4-0 against Bolivia in May of 2016. Also ties the record for the largest margin of victory against a FIFA top 15 opponent. The other time was against number 7 ranked Mexico, June 18th, 1995. And lastly, Alex Freeman becomes the second USMNT defender to score multiple goals in a game, tying Aaron Long from the game against Trinidad and Tobago, June 22nd, 2019 in the Gold Cup. If you have a question, please raise your hand and state your name and affiliation. We'll begin with Doug.
Hi, Mauricio. Doug McIntyre from Fox Sports. What does a result like this do for your team heading into a long stretch where you're not going to see them, particularly given the guys who are on the field tonight, a lot of regulars rested? How's this going to help you guys going into the new year? Thank you.
Sorry, I don't want to be negative, no? But I hate that no regular players. What means? It's USA playing. It's the national team. Stop with that mindset. Every time that our decision is about to pick and start in 11, is the US men national team playing. And after 1 year, I think you need to really know me that I hate to talk in this way. It's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful because I think we need to give credit to all the guys that today were involved, and again Paraguay too. I think it's about to win games, it's to perform, and to be honest, is of course the player you need to call for their name, but I think the most important, and we were talking now in the dressing room, and that they put the team first, and we won 2 games, very difficult games against Paraguay and Uruguay, is because of all of them, and the credit is from them. But I think who won the that batch, and it's difficult to accept because I think, and it's not because today we won, because I think that victory doesn't mean nothing for me personally. I think because we need to build our journey until to the World Cup. But what I am really appreciate from the team, for the roster, and for all the staff, is in the way that we start to connect together, and that is the most important. If we want to arrive to the World Cup and to have the chance to challenge the big teams, I think that is in the way that we need to play. And I don't care it's one another. I think it's how the team behave with another player, different player, 9 changes from Paraguay to Uruguay, but to keep the idea, the philosophy, the faith, the fight, the togetherness. I don't know if you can perceive or no before the game how all the bench players were supporting the starting 11. That connection is amazing. It's what we wanted, and I think the credit, like I told to the player now, on the dressing room, is all for them.
Front row here to your right.
Hi, Mauricio. Paul Tenorio from The Athletic.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm going to have 2 questions. I'm going to wait for your first answer on the first one. Sorry, Michael. The first is, you talk about this all being no regulars. Last time you rotated heavily was the Switzerland game, and things didn't go well. This time you rotate heavily, and it shows the depth that you've built up, the comfort, the understanding, no matter what players are on the field, that they know what you want from them. How does that speak to that process you talked about of kind of building this team up block by block, that now you can bring players in, out, it doesn't matter who they are, that confidence translates from the group that was against Paraguay to the group that was playing tonight?
I didn't understand the first part of the question.
He's saying, when we played against Turkey and Switzerland, you rotated a lot of players and it didn't work as well. Now against Paraguay and Uruguay, you rotated players and it did. What does that show about the development that you've had in the team? And you can
change players and they all understand what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but I think that you say about that there's no normal players or something.
Saying,
no.
yeah, that to your point, that the idea of like the regulars.
The regular.
Doesn't-
Who are the regular players?
No, I'm saying that there is none, is what
No,
you're
no.
saying.
My question is maybe I think we need to stop the press conference and I need to go to the dressing room, come back and start again the press conference because it's like we were the opposite, losing 5-0, no, 5-1, no.
No, I'm
I
saying.
am the USA coach, no the another.
Right, no, I'm saying.
No,
that
but the
it shows that.
regular, tell me which regular player you are talking about, because I don't understand what means regular player.
More experienced players.
Which,
More, right? Like,
okay.
yeah.
Sí, pero yo estoy diciendo que no hay regulares, que este resultado dice que no hay regulares, que pueden jugar con
Yeah, but I
algunos.
think we need to talk about that to congratulate the player. I don't know if you now they are listen at that press conference and player feel that the no regular player they play and they did well. I don't know. If I am the player, I am very disappointed with that. If I am and then we are going to ask things that to be honest, maybe I am tired and I don't understand the English now or your English question because I don't. To be honest, very disappointed in the first two questions because I don't know what do you expect. What I'm going to say when you say no natural players playing today or the another day or in the Gold Cup or I don't know when. Very sad situation. Keep going.
I'm Mauricio.
Please. Third question, no regular
The
player.
pressure is great. Okay, so on the first goal, Sebastian plays it short to Serginho. So in a situation like that, do the players have the freedom of thought to come up with that, or is that something that you work on as a set
No, we didn't
play,
work.
or-
All was coincidence.
Sorry, all the way in the back.
Profe, buenas noches. Primero felicitarlo por el gran triunfo.
Gracias.
Y Alonso Contreras de Aries Sport Network. Y por más que sea un amistoso, el resultado es muy positivo. ¿Qué rescata de este grupo que, bueno, ha dado un espectáculo muy bueno el día de hoy, ganando a un ex campeón mundial como Uruguay 5-1?
Bueno, creo que hay muchos. Te voy a responder con el respeto que tú, la pregunta que me haces. Yo creo que ha sido un muy buen partido. Un partido donde necesitábamos, ¿no? Un rendimiento, ¿no? De grupo como este. Creo que reafirma todos los conceptos, el tiempo invertido trabajando, ¿no? Durante un año en poder cambiar cosas que nosotros pensábamos que podían ser mejor. Está claro que el resultado o la victoria no nos da 3 puntos, pero nos da el convencimiento de seguir trabajando, el convencimiento de que estamos en el buen camino, que comenzamos un proyecto con mucha dificultad, pero que poco a poco le hemos dado la vuelta y creo que ahora, como vemos competir al equipo, defendiendo ¿no? el escudo, sintiendo los colores, peleando en cada acción, como si fuera la última. Creo que eso es el disfrute que más nos llevamos, ¿no? de haber podido ¿no? poner un grupo con un staff, pensando siempre primero en el equipo, después en la parte individual, y creo que eso es un mérito muy grande de todos los jugadores y el staff. Que todavía nos queda un largo camino para llegar a la Copa del Mundo y tenemos que mejorar, por supuesto. Que hemos trabajado con más de 70 jugadores, sí, pero esto abre la posibilidad a que cuando la prioridad es el equipo, yo creo que las individualidades pueden crecer y y más jugadores tengamos para elegir, menos nos vamos a equivocar y vamos a ser muy competitivos, y lo hemos mostrado contra Paraguay y contra Uruguay hoy. Gracias.
To your right here, in the front row.
Hola, Mauricio.
A la derecha. Okay.
Hola, Mauricio, aquí.
Yes.
Sanjay con Backhill. Hace un mes, cuando hablabas del rol de Weston, dijiste que querías que él tuviera más libertad. ¿Es lo mismo con Serginho en ese rol más ofensivo? ¿Prefieres él en esa posición en vez de lateral?
Sí, Serginho es un jugador que en la fase ofensiva provoca muchas situaciones, ¿no? Es un jugador, también si nos ponemos a analizar, yo creo que no tenemos muchas alternativas de jugadores como Serginho jugando en banda, ¿no? No tenemos muchos wingers. Tenemos muchos medios, muchos jugadores que juegan en zonas interiores, pero no tenemos jugadores que puedan romper por las bandas, y Serginho es un jugador que nos puede facilitar muchas cosas, ¿no? en esa posición. Creo que Serginho como fullback le quedaría mucha distancia, y también en la fase defensiva yo creo que no es su mayor fortaleza. Su fortaleza es en posesión y teniendo libertad para entrar y buscar diagonales, unos contra unos por fuera. Eso lo que hemos tratado de probar en estos dos partidos, jugando con Joe Scali primero contra Paraguay y después con Alex Freeman hoy. Yo creo que me ha gustado esa combinación. Yo creo que es un jugador que puede aportar muchas cosas, ¿no? Y también viene de un periodo donde ha tenido problemas, no ha jugado mucho, no ha estado disponible mucho con nosotros. Era una buena oportunidad para verlo, ¿no?
Se refiere a la izquierda.
Hi, Mauricio. Ryan Tolman from Goal. Alex Freeman scores 2 goals tonight, and you think back 6 months ago, he was making his debut, and you see the growth, not just as a player, but and also as a person. You know, as someone who has gotten to watch that growth and manage that growth, what has it been like seeing him develop to a player who can play against Uruguay? And just as a human, what has it been like seeing this young player kind of grow and take his chance and do something kind of special with this national team?
That is our job, it's our duty, no, to see the projection of the player, and for that we need to give the chance and to see how they perform, how they act, the character, the mentality, you know. I think if we are in something good, of course you don't believe that too much, but that we are so good, but in some point I think is in to recognize some talent, but in the same way is to be brave and to give the possibility to play, because with the old mindset, and some people can talk about that, the topics or like this, you never going to give the possibility to a player like him. And people sometimes say, no, 70 players. Yeah, 70 players. We started to work 1 year ago. How many games we play? How many times we have the possibility to train with these guys? But for me, it's not our credit. Only we create the platform for him to show the quality, but the credit is from him. But I'm so happy because today I scored twice. But in the way, I think you need to analyze, you know, in the way that he plays. He can play like a third central back. He can play go forward on the side, go inside. In the time that he took the ball, how it's difficult for the opponent to stop him, go inside and play. When he has the ball, the team is like it's a relief, no? It's how easy play and the capacity, no? He's so strong. You saw again Paraguay. 3 against him and they cannot beat him.
His dad was very proud.
Yes, I saw him today. His dad.
A la izquierda, Luis Uruguay.
Jonathan Tannenwald, the Philadelphia Inquirer. You mentioned a moment ago how little time you have during these camps. Did you accomplish this month everything that you wanted to? And did anything surprise you, either in practices or in the 2 games?
No, surprise, no. I think was to confirm the way that we are working is how the staff, the player, you know, the naturality of the trainings, the way that we live inside, the dynamic of the group, it's all very natural. I think if you say to me, if you describe a group of professional, when you say professional, that is last week or during 10 days, I think the 100%. No one thing happened, small thing, silly or stupid, or, the focus, the concentration into perform, into train, into do everything that we propose, in the way of the feedback of the player, the staff, I think was amazing. And I am really, really happy because the reality is much better. What do you think? Much, much better. And before was much different, was completely different. The reality that sometimes, but I think the reality is so good. With this type of reality, I think we can grow. Of course, that is still a lot of work to do, but I think it's about to keep believing, is to keep pushing, is like I told in the halftime to the player. For one, I was so disappointed in the way that we concede, and I said that we can put in danger, the game, only if we drop a little bit in our focus, in our concentration. And I said, if you accept my challenge, we need to win the second half. And I told we won 1-0 the second half. And that is in the way that I think we need to build. I said, don't think in the performance, think in the next action, and the next action, and the next, and try to be successful, and win the duels, and win in every single situation, communication, I think, and then trust in our way to play and your quality. I think that is why we feel really happy about in the way that we finish now the 2025. Okay.
Jeff Carlisle with ESPN. Mauricio, you're unbeaten in 5 games. What's your assessment of where the team is right now? You talked about there's still room to grow. What areas would you like to see the team grow, and how optimistic are you about what's ahead in 2026?
Yeah, I think we are going to be in 2026, the year of the World Cup. I think we start to feel the World Cup, the excitement, our fans. I think it's important for our fans, this type of victory and the result, because I think it's to push them to really believe in the team. We never doubt, because we saw the quality of the player. Was only to trust on them and to give the possibility, to find a way, to perform, to behave, to be in the way that we feel football, what means to be professional, no? And I think all the areas we need to improve. No one. That is our objective, because we are very ambitious and we want to win. We want to challenge all the team. But I think to start challenging teams like was Japan, Ecuador, Australia, Paraguay, Uruguay, I think that looks like, that we are in the way to match all these, big teams. You can see the competitivity today, or against Paraguay, against Ecuador, against Australia. I think that is in the way. That is in the way. Of course, the World Cup is going to be different, but I think we need to prepare ourselves to be, to be there and to really believe in our chance.